When I think of riding mountain bike in the desert, it looks like this. Nothing around but sand and cacti. I never would have imagined that there could be mountains as well. Thanks to a subscriber years ago, I came to Phoenix and I rode South Mountain. There's a ton of technical riding there, and for a long time, I thought that was all that Phoenix had to offer. Shortly after my first trip to South Mountain, a nonprofit called Hawes Trail Alliance partnered with Tonto National Forest. They revamped some of the existing trail network and added about 30 miles of new trail. Generally speaking, South Mountain is where you go to enjoy technical rocky riding. However, if it's flow you're looking for, Hawes has you covered. If you don't use trail forks already, I highly recommend it to help find parking and to keep from getting lost on the trails. It's been an asset whether riding trails away from home or even riding stuff I'm not too familiar with in my neck of the woods. Without it, it would be easy to get turned around at Hawes. And well, it's a desert, and they don't seem to be too forgiving. The climb we took up was pretty chill except for the switchbacks at the end. It was tough, but not enough to keep us from doing it twice. One thing I can say about riding at Hawes, the views, they're phenomenal. And once you get to the top, take it in, because the flow, it's about to deliver. Apparently we're going to do that 2 times. Definitely a little jealous of the e-bike, but the me bike is working just fine. So here we go. Oh yeah. Those pads sound like they're contaminated. Maybe we can wear that off here in a little bit. Right about now is when I wish I could tell you that was the case. However, most of the day was plagued with various issues with my brakes, and I'll do my best to edit around it. This is the Iron Goat Trail. As you can see, it's got great flow, little jumps thrown in here and there, and perfectly built berms. If you're not local, just watch out for the soil because it's definitely a little bit of kitty litter, and if you're not paying attention, those wheels will let go. The views out here are hard not to look at, that's for sure. Woo! I will say one thing that was pretty fun. For every one of the berms that was in place, there was a great straightaway that just put a big grin on your face. After wrapping up Iron Goat, we started traversing around the mountain for our second lap of the climb. This is a pretty little traverse trail. A little XC action, keeping you healthy. Working our way back around so we can go up the shitty ass switchbacks again. Can't wait. Super excited. I must say that for a traverse trail, Cactus Nectar, it's pretty fun and became quite the pump track challenge for me to see how far I could go without pedaling. I feel like some of this stuff, you can just kind of really keep your momentum. It would be a fun challenge to see who can make it across the trail in the least amount of cranks. Those of you guys in the desert have been thinking about trying out the Versus. This is definitely hooking up well. Can't complain about that. Whew. The second time up those switchbacks is bittersweet. On one hand, you know what to expect, so mentally, you know when to push. And on the other hand, you know what to expect, and everything inside you is questioning why you did it again. At the end of the day, it's good for the soul. From the top, we took another traverse trail called Goat over to Red Mountain Rush. Oh wow, the view's rad over here too. What do you know? When people talk about Hawes, I seem to hear 3 trail names. The first is Red Mountain Rush, which is the flow trail we were planning on riding. But the second, it's called Sunset Trail, and we took a little detour to check out the drop-in. And judging by the entrance, this trail will go head-to-head with anything that South Mountain has to offer. It's definitely on my radar now, and I'm looking forward to hitting it in the future. Let's get back over to Red Mountain Rush. I'll tell you this, As soon as I started the trail, it was everything I wanted it to be. Fast, flowy, and full of grins.
Ooh, a little squeezy. Those are fun. Ooh, don't hit the cactus. All this stuff over here though, the flow is like just a hump track. Woo! Some of those cactus are just like, hey man, why don't you try to come over here and punch me with your foot? Woo! We're always giving the Arizona guys a hard time about their downhill being uphill. So we'll be like, there's no more climbing. And then what do you know? Boom, we're going up a hill. Really digging this little, just pumping through these little compressions all over the place. And the flow of this trail is definitely freaking rad. The traction is loose, definitely all kitty litter, but it actually hooks up better than you would think. Some of those little booters, man, I feel like I'd have so much speed on them. I don't know how I could hit it and not be like off the trail. I'm sure once you get to know the place. It's crazy how much cooler it is in this shadow side. Sounds like we got the contaminant off the pads, which is nice, because that would have been annoying for a whole video. He said it's pretty open and fast from here. I said, that sounds lame. Woo! Oh, you feel that just a little give in some of the corners. It's interesting. It's like a different give than the stuff in Tahoe. It's more of like a plush kind of thing. This will give and then it'll grab. It's interesting. You kind of float more through the sand in Tahoe. How rad is this though? Yeah. Woo!
As you get to the bottom, it flattens into more of an XC trail. However, it's just a few minutes away from another one of the 3 trails that you always hear mentioned. The last of the 3 don't miss trails I heard named was Big Sister. The climb up is appropriately named Twisted Sister. I could see people parking in the lot nearby and just running laps over and over again. It's one of those low-cost, high-fun sections that would be perfect for a day when you want to ride, but you don't want to put a lot of effort in.
All right, play bikes. Puck. Didn't know that was coming.
The trail has some drops and jumps on it that would be 10 times better on your second lap. If headed that way, plan a few laps in your ride. You won't be disappointed. The middle gets a little pedally, but it kicks the fun level back up right before he spits you out at the end. Reflecting on Hawes as I pedaled out, I thought about how I shied away from going for years, just because I couldn't get enough of South Mountain. Although Hawes isn't packed with tech like South Mountain is, it's packed with miles of stoke-inducing flow that'll stand out in your memory a different way. Although they're building some tech trails like the Sunset Trail, the majority of what's out there is flow, so don't go thinking it's another South Mountain. With that being said, I'm glad I gave it a chance, because every day on a bike is a good day, and a day at Hawes will be just that.